Welcome back to Softcore History. I'm your host for the week, Dan Regester. I'm joined as always by Rob Fox.
Hello.
And special guest, Gabby.
Emergency guest?
Montemayor.
Nice.
That was
Bueno.
good Spanish
Bueno.
accent.
Did I nail it?
Que
We were
bueno.
all doing our Carlos Alcaraz before the show.
Carlos
so,
Alcaraz.
yeah.
Ilia Topolia.
What's the Rafael Nadal?
Tennis.
Nadal? Yeah.
Just Spanish names.
Why hasn't Nadal gotten hair plugs? How come he hasn't fixed that with all the money he has?
That
Doesn't
is
need
one
it.
of the biggest glow downs in sporting history.
Him and Ginobili should have gotten their hair
Human
done.
history.
It's insane. Do something about that.
Ginobili always looked like that to me though.
But he went like they started losing hair so young, and they had so much money so young, and
Yeah.
yet
Mm-hmm.
he could have worn hats, and he chooses to wear
Ronaldo
headbands.
took care of it pretty quickly.
Yeah,
The hair, the teeth,
because like it's a look.
the face.
It's
Yeah.
a look.
I think like Nadal was just like he just went from the hottest, most strapping young dude to he's like the Indiana Jones dude who drinks from the wrong Holy Grail. He's just like halfway through that.
And it's like he's not hot enough to not care that he's not hot.
Yes, he's
you know?
still
he
fit.
should he's fit, but like he should do something.
It's an
Yes.
Eastern European thing to look bald and kind of like, not fat, but
Fit fat,
not even fit fat. Just a belly.
a paunch.
Mm-hmm.
He's not there yet, but the hair is there.
The hair is not good.
The hair is rough. Whereas like Federer still looks like he's 30.
Looks good.
Yeah, he looks fantastic.
Even John McEnroe has a full head of hair.
He does. Yeah, and Djokovic, thick black
I
hair.
love him.
Big Joker fan. We're a Joker fan base here.
I love his whole vibe.
Me too.
You can't speak for the entire pod.
I do though.
Quite loudly.
Yeah.
The loudest voice on the show.
By
so you can.
by octaves alone, it's
Vocal,
not even-
vocal minority.
yeah.
I'm trying to think of anybody that's kind of like a fringe guy that we have that has a chance, but there's really nobody.
What in tennis?
Yeah,
That doesn't exist.
No.
Yeah. It's just like one or two dudes who are just monsters, and then everyone else.
there's
is
really
like,
no American.
Taylor Fritz is getting there. Ben, what's his name from UF, is a little bit getting there.
We've already scared off enough people with the tennis
Yeah.
talk, though.
We're so sorry. This is not a tennis podcast.
No. It's a history podcast, but you already heard that off the top of the show. And today, our topic for the week, we're getting controversial.
Good. I got takes.
You have to.
Yeah.
Fire them from the hip.
What do you need?
Don't even think.
What do you need me to say?
Everything,
Okay.
but nothing at all.
Yep.
That's what takes
At the
are.
same time.
That's what
Yeah,
that's what a hot
exactly.
take is.
Mm-hmm. No, one of the biggest fears of both sides of the political aisle at the moment is that the other party will ultimately take control and not give up power, whether through some type of one world government or a fascist ruler for life.
Yes. There's a Hitler around every corner.
I'm not here to argue if there's a legitimate threat of those concerns, but rather inform you that this country, do you know it already had an emperor?
No.
Did not.
Did not.
Okay.
I thought you were about
What
to
was
say
her
that
name?
George Washington was a fascist. Which, if you need me to say that, I will say that. I'm married to nothing but the take I live in the moment.
No, this isn't me
Okay.
harping on the actions of Washington, FDR, or even LBJ.
Okay. Fascist.
Country had an actual emperor, and his name was Joshua Norton.
Joshua. That's not an emperor. That's
Is
not a royal
This guy
name.
sounds like he created his own empire in the Oregon woods in the 80s.
Rule number 1, we fuck whenever I want. Rule number 2,
No, this podcast was built on weirdos, and we're getting back to our roots.
let's hear about him.
We're talking about the only emperor in United States history.
What?
He's even recognized on a U.S. census with his profession, emperor.
Emperor?
No,
Yeah, well.
But you can write whatever you want there, right? It doesn't have to correlate with your W-2.
Yeah, it's whatever you want it to be.
It's like a media badge at an airport.
Yeah, who cares?
Just Photoshop that bitch.
I used to do that.
30% off my bags now.
Is it really?
Well, it depends what you have.
Wait,
Really?
what flight?
Bags are at least 30% off.
Really?
Fuck.
Mhm.
Life hack.
I'm
They
gonna
don't,
need, I'm
like,
gonna need that
scan it.
PSD. I'm gonna need that PSD.
Yeah, for real.
It just has to look legitimate, and your face is on it.
Okay, so
It
you
says
can't
media.
you can't hand them what looks like a temporary Texas driver's license.
But
just
if it's
print
like
it off
laminated and in like a little,
Yeah. that you just flash it to them. They'll be like, "Oh, that's good enough," and then boom.
But so like when you pay for bags at the airport, they they put in like a media discount
Yep.
code.
So we could show them. We could be media. Like what? Who are you with? Oh, Softcore History. We just show them our podcast. Yeah, that's 1,000 reviews. That's 1,000 reviews.
1,000 reviews.
Depends what airline you're on, but I mean, some bags are as low as like $25 or $30.
Bags fly for free on Southwest.
They do.
I don't know if you knew that.
Not a
You're always
sponsor.
media on Southwest Airlines.
Everyone's media.
Yeah, but
when
you're not
everyone's
guaranteed
media,
a seat.
no one's media.
True. You don't feel better. By the way, real quick, I just want to say, with your Emperor talk, did you know that originally Napoleon wasn't going to be sent to Elba? He was going to be sent to Nolens for his first exile.
Oh, he would have loved.
He
it
would have never
there.
left.
I know.
He's
Is it
not
exile
trying to
if
get
you have a
power
good
again.
time?
What?
Does it count as exile if you have a good time?
I know, right? Although Elba was a good time. He was like got to kind of ball out and throw balls and have a good time. It was the second exile where they were
Yeah.
like, well,
He was
you
power
ruined
hungry.
it, mister.
They just exiled him, and he came back stronger.
Yeah, it was like, fuck this. But it was Napoleon House, which was catty corner from the hotel I got married at. Right there. Napoleon House, they alleged that they invented the Pim's Cup and maybe the Muffaletta?
I thought you got married at the La Laurie mansion.
No,
remember
that's just
where.
that's just a person, like a personal hero.
Mm.
Is the Lalaurie family.
Yeah. Let that sink in.
I just want a muffaletta.
I know, right? Minus the tapenade. I'm not a
I
tapenade guy.
love a tapenade.
Then
I'll snort an olive. I don't care. I love a little
do a line
salty
of tapenade.
bastard. Put capers on everything.
Now, our sweet boy Joshua was born in southeast London, February 4th,
Southie.
1818.
Okay.
Though the date is disputed. And his family moved to South Africa quickly after as part of the UK's colonization program known as the 1820 settlers.
Okay. So he's not even...
Not even
he's-
American.
Yeah. Not even American. Didn't even immigrate to America first. We're like a second choice. At least. Who knows where else this guy goes? You go to Hong Kong, too?
It's on the way.
Yeah.
We don't know.
He disappears from the
Because
record.
Joshua does not sound like an 1800s name.
much like another holy savior, little is known about his early years. And we start the story in his 30s.
Okay. So he's much like the Emperor of Heaven, Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm. Shows up to San Francisco in 1849.
What was he? What? Oh, he's in his 30s. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. I told you, we don't know about his childhood.
I wonder if he took the long way.
We don't know if he was a Boer.
We don't know what.
If he was a Boer.
He went to San Francisco in 1849.
Mm-hmm.
So Gold Rush.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, that's what brought people out to that part of the country.
I don't know how many South Africans came to San Francisco. I know it brought a lot of Chinese people and a lot of Americans.
Isn't that funny
Gay
that
Americans.
even in the 1800s, a get-rich-quick scheme is what built this country?
This country is built on
Scams.
yes, on what
Dreams and scams.
Yeah,
Always has been.
a dream and a scam. It's like a dream and scam is like genius and insanity, right? It's
Like, it's only crazy if it doesn't work. And if it works for one person, it's like, well, maybe me too.
yeah.
America's not about patience. It's about right now.
The microwave, baby. We're not roasting.
And
We're nuking.
I want soggy nuggets.
even people who claim to like slow cooked meats, they show up and get the meat immediately served to them.
They're not doing the work.
No,
They're not They're not slow smoking. They're
no.
not
For
low
every
and
person
slow.
that's like, oh, I slow smoke meat. Look at my Instagram. There are 10,000 that show up and want that wet, hot, smoky meat just shoved in their face immediately.
I want a brisket right now. I'm hungry, I think. Let's
You want to call the show? And we'll just.
Yeah,
Sure.
There's a great barbecue.
Let me get a
place right
muffaletta
away.
brisket sandwich.
So upon arrival, Joshua Norton crushed in commodity markets and real estate speculation, and by 1852,
Real estate speculation.
he was one of the most respected and prosperous men in town.
So I'm sorry, this guy
What
showed
commodity? Just
up. Gold.
just gold?
No, we'll get into the
Like
commodity.
buying land and hoping that there's gold on it?
We'll get into the commodity that kind of shapes his
Women?
life.
Is it women?
No,
Let me
he's
see.
he's not trafficking humans.
Oh well,
Wow. Very un-American of him, honestly.
in that time period, that's the second best commodity in the area.
Maybe some
But-
Oriental rugs.
Is that what he's into?
No.
Is
Okay.
that what we're calling it now?
But I like how I already think this guy's smart. He already maybe has my vote for Emperor because what do we
vote
talk
for
about?
Emperor?
What did the smart people do? Well, I'll just say I voted for him.
Oh, I didn't vote for you.
What did the smart people do at the gold rush? The idiots show up and start hacking at the ground.
The
They-
real
the
smart people
build other businesses
supply.
to support.
Yes.
They hey, buy pickaxes here.
Yeah.
Hey, buy your whores. Hey, come gamble.
Yeah. That's what the
Let's
intelligent
play
people
cards
do.
and fuck.
Do you know that's how Levi's started?
Yeah?
Yeah, Levi's
providing
was off the gold
jeans
rush.
for gold miners.
Wow. You know they were called overalls until they didn't start calling them jeans until like the 50s or 60s after James Dean wore them in A Streetcar Named Desire. And I think it's like a portmanteau of James Dean jean.
Oh.
Overalls were like what your grandparents wore, and the kids in the 50s and 60s started calling them jeans.
I also heard dungaree as a name for
Dungarees, but isn't that like, that's not an American term?
it sounds Australian.
Yeah.
As a dungaree.
Dungaree.
You put on
Or
a
South
dung-
Put
Africa.
on your dungarees
Yeah.
while you drink your Fosters.
But I respect this guy. Don't go out there like an idiot
I like an entrepreneur.
and just dig in the ground. Sell shit to the idiots digging in the ground.
yeah.
Now, the commodity that really shaped his life was rice.
This sounds pretty racist already, but we're just going to power through.
Tell me about Josh the rice farmer.
No.
He just gets there. He's like, it's a lot of one type of person here.
He's like, you know what they want? Mochi.
And you know what? That's fine because I've dealt with that racism myself. Every time I go to get tacos, there's a great taqueria at my gas station that, like, at the front of my neighborhood. It is genuinely really good. All staffed by these really super nice Mexican ladies who do not speak English very well, and they know that you can get flour or corn tortillas. They do not ask. They just look at me.
Flour.
Flour.
They know you want flour.
Yeah.
He yearns for it.
Yeah.
Flour
Look at his
para
skin.
llevar. They know you're not eating it there.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Well,
They know you're taking it to go.
yeah. I mean, look, it almost offends me, but I actually
Right.
appreciate it.
And depending on the
They're
day,
right.
I'm a little
Yeah.
bit more racially ambiguous, so they have to guess.
You look pretty like
I think
German Viking-y right now.
Yeah. The blonde doesn't help.
No. it
Yeah,
doesn't.
yeah. You need to get back to your Portuguese Jewish
A
roots.
little more tan, a little less blonde, and maybe you'll be more unknown.
Accepted by your people?
Yeah.
Okay.
But is that what you want? I don't
Kind of.
Really?
Yeah. I don't want them to know my next move.
You're like, am I taking it to go? Am I eating it here? One corn, one flour?
No, I just
Nobody
mean the
knows.
grand then.
So like you're a compliment to me or like to an older woman is like you get carded, right? And you're like, oh, you're a sweetheart. I haven't been carded in years. A compliment to you would be getting carded by an ICE agent.
I was going to say I want Homeland Security
Yeah.
to show up to my door.
Yeah.
No, Norton made a play for rice in 1852 because China had one of their famines. And
As they do.
all of a sudden, they shut down their export of rice, and there's a shortage in the market.
There he had to fill a gap. Respect. It is the
Entrepreneurial.
rice-a-roni is the San Francisco treat. Is this the man who created rice-a-roni?
It's not.
Ah!
God damn it.
I'm sorry to disappoint.
The face made him be like,
I know. I was ready to go.
Be crazy if you called it, though.
that'd be so cool. You should have called me that.
No, rice went from 4 cents a pound to 36 cents because of this.
That's a good
Goddamn.
margin. That's good.
Joe Biden.
You want to get on the bottom floor of that.
Yeah.
So, trying to corner the market, Norton bought $25,000 worth of rice at 12 cents a pound from Peru.
This sounds
Okay.
like the episode of Always Sunny where they put gas in the trash can. And they go selling gas door to door. Is he just like putting rice in bags and selling it door to door?
Now, $25,000 back then,
How much is that?
it's a little over $1 million today
Yeah. It's fucking.
How do you have that kind of liquid cash?
because he was a businessman. He got into real estate. And his
Real
previous
estate,
commodity success.
commodities.
Did he have that cash or did he borrow that money? Was it?
Yeah.
Did he leverage
Yeah.
his
Did he leverage
assets?
I mean, look. If you're speculating on real estate in San Francisco at that time, it's like all you're basically saying is like, I bet this land's gonna get more valuable.
It was a little
Which
bit
is
of
like, yeah, like
little bit of
everyone,
column A, a little bit of column
yeah,
B.
everyone's
like,
fucking moving
Isn't
here.
most land, I mean, I guess I feel like California was that true until now. Like now it's getting less valuable.
It's
It's going to fall into the ocean pretty soon.
probably. I mean,
If it just breaks off.
Fingers crossed. Just kidding.
yeah, that. But yeah, Also, it's just you got to plateau at some point. One would imagine. Although the
I'd
land,
be so
I was looking
rich
at.
if I had $10,000 in the 1800s.
Oh my God, I wouldn't work. What? This guy's insane for even.
I wouldn't work because I wouldn't be allowed to.
True. Lucky.
Lucky me.
He was not the only person that had this brilliant idea.
Well, yeah,
Of
baby, it's the
course.
market.
It's a dime a dozen.
No, Peru was packing that void to the brim, with shipments causing the price to plunge back down to 3 cents a pound by the time Norton was ready to sell.
What do you mean ready to sell? Like it took that long for the rice to get there?
Take some time to fulfill the order.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's the 18th.
International
it's the
business.
1850s.
Right. They got a
Few
steam.
months to get it over here on the steam.
You put it on a steamer. If you're even lucky enough that Peru has a steamship, they might be sailing old school.
So Norton tries to void the contract, and he gets into a nearly 2-year legal battle, which only cost him more money. And the case goes all the way to the California Supreme Court, where they ruled against him in October of 1854.
What was his case? Stuff changed. Like what?
What a bitch.
Man, the roller coaster ride of your emotions towards this man.
It's I never like a bad lawsuit.
We've been overly litigious from the beginning.
Yeah.
It's like it's not a great fast. I mean, it's like the amount of people that have made their wealth from just like a lucky lawsuit.
Oh, that's kind of a dream.
I know. I want to get hit by a bus all the time.
Every day. There was someone, do you see that there's a girl who
That kind of goes back to our get rich quick scheme.
Right.
Yeah,
the-
get hit by a car.
Right place, right time.
It's America, baby. The fucking girl, I'm so jealous of that girl.
Take a
who
dive.
was left in a cop car and it got hit by a train. She
Did
got
she-
like $8 million.
and she got out of jail. I'm assuming?
She was fine, yeah. They just like
Did
left
she-
her.
didn't
They parked on the tracks.
Wasn't she pretty
Cops
fucked
are
up?
so stupid.
I think she was
Cops are
alright.
so like C's in high school. That's what COP stands for. It's like it's people with no common sense and just like posturing.
I mean,
Who parks on a railroad track?
yeah, that's pretty fucking
That's
bad.
Like bus drivers know not to do that. They don't even have degrees.
You
Well,
can
bus
just apply
drivers have
be-
to stop, and then they have to open their little door.
Yeah, but they don't park all. They move. They stop before, and then they look, and then they move past.
It's true. I could be be a bus driver for children like in a week.
Yeah.
Right now, they're hiring. I don't want to wake up.
So
at
are the
4 in the morning.
cops, but
True. Either way, you get a gun.
good benefits.
Yeah.
You get pretty much the same pay as an airline pilot.
What, as a bus driver?
Yeah, but you don't get the cool benefits of flying standby anywhere you want all the time.
Is that cool?
Kinda.
Sitting in the little jump seat.
You also get
No,
that as
standby,
a
like, it means
flight attendant.
You basically just pay the taxes and fees. I have an uncle and a cousin who's a pilot, and they can sometimes if there's an unsold first class seat, it's still like $62.
I just
Bang,
really
holy
love
shit.
the point of entry being, almost $500,000 to get your license, and then they pay you like $40,000.
Yeah.
That is. It's like law school.
Do you have good vision? You can't do it if you need glasses.
Good.
I have good vision.
Do you look at the pilot before you go on and be like, I trust him?
I'd fuck him. No. What?
That too.
Yeah, I look.
But is an airline pilot a fuckable profession?
Kind of.
Like you're like hell
They're
yeah.
gone half the time, and you can fly for free anytime you want. Sounds awesome.
Elite, yeah.
Oh.
They're probably ex-military.
That's what you hope
Good
for.
benefits.
Yeah.
They're going to get a good loan, a
Yeah.
good mortgage loan.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. The whole
And when
loan.
they die, wow, you're going to get so much money.
the pension.
Mm.
If I look at the pilot and he's just sloppy,
Oh,
overweight,
you don't want a hungover fat pilot.
I'm concerned.
I actually don't think
Ooh.
I've ever seen a fat pilot.
I see him all the time.
Really? But you fly Spirit.
Sometimes. Sometimes it's the best flight.
Well,
Well, best is
Of all the issues that we currently have going on in the airline industry, name one that's been Spirit Airlines.
just everything on
It's
Spirit.
always United,
experiences.
I don't fly United.
and it's always American.
I
Don't
don't know.
look down on
The
Spirit
thought
Airlines.
of dying in a plane crash honestly sounds nice.
I don't think it's as peaceful as you are
Fiery.
somehow thinking.
You're burnt.
You gotta like
Crisp.
put your earphones in because everyone's gonna be screaming.
Nothing's. I mean, but it's like,
It's horrifying.
what can you do? You can't do anything. It's
Yeah.
just like let go. Here we go.
Well,
Well,
I think you gotta open the emergency door and try to jump out and maybe try to make a parachute out
Yeah,
of
why
your-
don't they give you parachutes?
I don't understand why everyone just doesn't have a parachute under their seat.
you can pack a parachute in your carry-on and just pay 30% less for it with your media pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the dream.
Life
Why
hack.
would I want a flotation device?
Right.
I mean,
can
over
swim.
water, I guess, but I feel like there's a lot of things that could substitute as a flotation device, but there's not a lot that could substitute as a parachute.
Exactly.
Right.
What are the odds we're going to land this plane, this bird, on the water? And
Yeah.
then, I'll be
Slow.
totally with it to take my cushion. It's just not likely.
No.
Give me the parachute.
Yeah. Out the door.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you just, like, think about it. Like, the plane's going down, and you're just like, all right, we're going to grab parachutes. We're going to open the emergency door one by one. Like, we're fucking World War II paratroopers just jumping out. If you have a baby, best of luck to you.
Good luck. Pick your favorite. If you have two, pick your favorite.
Lucas Turner and Company Bank foreclosed on all of his real estate holdings to pay some of the debt, and he declared bankruptcy in August of 1856. By 1857, he was pretty destitute, bouncing around from boarding homes to sleeping on the streets.
Just like Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
And in 1859, he had finally had enough of the political structures in this country.
So he was mad that the Supreme Court ruled that he had to pay for the rice he bought.
At the price they agreed upon.
Yes.
I'm sorry, you have to honor your word.
And he was like, this God.
And he had to pay a lawyer probably and like court
Yeah.
fees to hear that you have to just do the business you said you were going to do.
It's like, this fucking country. All
Oh,
right.
shit.
He ends up writing a manifesto.
Well, don't we
Oh,
all?
God.
Don't
Sounds
we
like
all?
It's always a fucking man. It's like you could be a Unabomber or you could be an emperor, but it starts with a manifesto.
It does. It does.
Addressing the citizens of the United States.
My fellow citizens, this is bullshit.
We agreed upon 12 cents.
They could fuck me. They could fuck you.
The price.
Well, I
Then
said,
changed to 3
fuck
cents.
them.
Before product in hand, 3 cents. Went 12 cents to 3 cents. How's
Yeah,
that a fair
just-
deal?
I don't think I want to live in a country where you can't fuck over your customer for your own profit
Foreign
margin.
nation taking advantage of a good old American.
I like that he was British, but we're all giving him a redneck accent.
Yeah. I mean, this
Because
is.
it's a redneck, it's a state of mind, you know?
Yeah. This guy, I mean, this isn't even redneck state of mind. This is a rich guy state of mind. It's like, how? It's just like, I should not be poor, essentially. No, even if I'm poor because of my own decisions.
I'm here to make the
I'm
argument this is the
from
most
England.
American man to ever live. And he's from England.
Well, so was George Washington,
Aren't-
kind of. He was an English citizen. Was never from England. I don't
So
know if
he-
he's ever even been to England.
Sends his manifesto to the San Francisco Daily Evening Bulletin.
That's a lot of words.
Who
That's a
found
mouthful.
it?
That's a
That's
small,
too
it's a
that's
big
too long of a
masthead.
paper name, I
Yeah.
agree. They found it hilarious. So they published
Did
the
they
whole
print
thing.
it? Yeah. They're like,
"Oh,
okay,
well, this is
loser.
fucking great.
It's like the equivalent of somebody, like when somebody like hates on you and you post it on your story. Like when somebody posts a mean comment and like they post it on their
Yeah.
story.
You're like,
It's like, oh, look at this
"Let my
dork.
mouth off." People,
Look at his profile picture. What a loser.
we did an episode a long time ago on sort of like like how modern news came to be, and it started right around this time, a little bit before that, during the Mexican-American War, and essentially like this was the rise of like what we know as newspapers today. They were called penny papers, which I assume this paper was one of those, and essentially like they were rags. So like papers before that
Goss.
were very like, think like the Wall Street Journal without the opinion section. Even,
Facts.
you know what I mean? Just like dry shit. Like
Car
you
accidents
do
and
not
facts.
you do not care about it unless you are like an educated person or whatever. And then someone got the undeniably bright idea to be like,
New York Post.
you know what people really
Daily
like?
Mail.
The New York Post, the Daily Mail, and they start writing all kinds of I mean, it is essentially like a blog, like remember like
Perez Hilton.
the heydays of blogs like Perez Hilton and Gawker, stuff like that, where it's just like
Trash.
publish trash, make fun of trash, let's point and laugh at this trash. That was penny. So this is like they're just looking for content, and this is glorious content.
This guy is a content
What
machine.
a dork.
yeah.
He's not a dork. In
Seems
fact,
like a
he keeps
whiny baby.
right into the paper.
Well, you get published once, you're not. So it's like it's not. Maybe it's still a thing when I don't listen to the radio enough to know, but like back in the day, like morning show radios. Or radio morning shows, I mean, you know, they would get like weirdos calling in, or like that.
Oh,
Repeat
yeah.
callers.
Yeah, and they would and they would be making fun of the person. You were clearly supposed to laugh at the person,
But they're
the-
doing it to the person, and the person's like, yeah. And
yeah, the
everyone's
person
like,
thinks they're in on the
yeah.
joke, and
Yeah.
they're calling. Yeah.
But here's the thing. Those people always become endearing to the fans.
Mm-hmm.
or to the people listening, people reading.
It was like
And that's what happens to him.
the famous one is the Paul Feinbaum caller, the woman from Alabama. It was
Mhm.
like, Paul, I ain't played nobody, Paul. I forget her name, but she
R.I.P.
died.
She died.
She died in a car
Yeah.
accident, I think.
So he wrote to this paper over and over again.
Don't feed the
God.
trolls.
He later, 2 months after his
actually-
initial manifesto post, wrote a letter declaring himself Emperor of these United States.
By the way, you could
That's-
probably get laid pretty well if you just show up with a newspaper clipping being like, I wrote this. What's up, babe?
Because I bet most women can't read.
Yeah.
He would
But he-
continue to write royal decrees and have them published over the years.
Royal decrees. The
His-
delusions on this guy.
I like him.
This guy's sick. What are you talking about?
I'm into him.
His first action as emperor?
Imagine calling every tweet a royal decree.
Now, is he still homeless?
Yes. This whole time. So he has a 20-year reign, and he's a hobo.
Right.
So this is like
Rain.
Vermin Supreme. It's like the
King
guy.
of the rats.
It's the guy that wears a fucking boot on his head.
Yeah,
Rat
yeah.
King. Have you
But
heard
he
of that-
was at one time a successful businessman.
Okay,
and
did
he
y'all
was
hear
ruined.
about this guy? And I saw this like one of those mega long threads on Twitter where he was like a bootstrappy. I'm rich now, but I could do it all again. I could start from zero, and I
Right.
would make $1 million in a year. And I bet you I can. So he did it. He gave away all of his money. He like sold his house. He gave away everything. He starts from zero. He starts like busking, and like he keeps trying to like make these different. And basically like. He ends up in a trailer with like 4 other dudes. He starts like a coffee company for hobos from hobos. Like
That
nothing works.
sounds worse than where he had to have started the first time.
But he like technically was a millionaire, but he was one of those like hustle grind set millionaires. And he was
What?
Yeah,
like,
all
I'll
of
make it
those
all back.
dudes
Or like the paperclip guy.
have the same business, and it's drop shipping.
And it's always
It's
drop
always
shipping.
drop
Or
shipping.
insurance.
It's just like, hey,
I'm
never
gonna
sit
take
on
this
product.
thing. Ugh, fucking flippers. I hate a fucking real estate flipper.
They're just middlemen, yeah. Every great industry in this country is
It's
middlemen.
just flipping.
I mean, that's what
This country's built on middlemen.
all the
Built
gold.
on wood look flooring and fucking drop shipping.
It's rough.
Always export your work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, it's cooler to be like in import export versus the drop shipper. Like coming from Texas, all the rich people I knew in South Texas, and they're like, "Oh, my dad's an import export." I'm like, "Your dad's laundering stuff and money. Cool. Like that's more interesting."
Well, if you are a drop shipper, why don't you call yourself import export?
Good point.
What
I
part
have
of
30 different businesses.
I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a
is that the
hustler.
shit you just get ads for on like Instagram and
Yeah.
YouTube all the time? Where it's
Like-
like, I made $1 million last year with
Go to
Amazon.
14 different Ross Dress for Lesses and buy all of their yoga mats and put it on Amazon. Easy. It's like
You don't even have to do that. You don't have to go to an actual store. It's like you never see the product. You never
Yeah.
actually hold the
or
product.
like the people that the gift card. I don't even understand the gift card racket.
you just make a link.
where they like buy
Sick.
thousands of dollars of gift cards. and
Affiliate
they're like,
links. Yeah.
They're like, I have 14 credit cards and I max them all out and I buy gift cards and I flip gift cards and I'm like, what are you doing? Get a job.
Their job is scams.
Their job is scams. And also, all those
And they're
people,
sometimes
all those
good
people
at it.
play poker.
Respect.
What was his
American.
first action as emperor, you may ask?
Who did he deport?
What did he decriminalize?
Yeah.
He abolished Congress.
Smart. But just like Emperor Palpatine.
Had to.
Yeah.
This is actually where they got the idea for Star Wars. Yeah.
Is it?
No.
That'd be great if it was. I mean, Lucas was living in this area. He was like Northern California.
In the 1800s?
Well, shortly after.
January
Years old.
1860, he summons the army to carry out his orders and dispose of the elected officials in Congress.
Dispose.
Yeah.
Like he ordered murder?
Yeah. I'm sorry. So he
This
ordered the Union Army.
I think it
is a
plays nowadays.
Crazy hobo.
I think it played then. I mean, there
Give him
was
a
a year before a civil war happened.
I want to see this guy on TikTok live right now. Like this guy he's a content creator is what he is.
He was made for
He's an
modern
influencer.
day.
He was born before his time, right? A lot of people say like, "Oh, I should have been born earlier." This man should have been born
Later.
1992.
Surprisingly,
He's crushing.
Norton's orders were ignored by the army.
What?
It's weird.
That makes no sense.
Dude, like, come on.
be cool.
Why aren't you recognizing his power?
Well, did the Washington
Did he like
Post or whatever pick up the?
Did he incentivize it? Was he like?
oh,
if
dude,
you
anything
murder
he
Congress,
ordained or anything he
ordained.
had decreed or, gave out, or the papers would publish.
Right. But I mean, I know the San Francisco paper would publish it, but were other papers picking it up and being like, dipshit emperor from San Francisco decrees?
No, this is kind of local.
Okay.
It was just all the San
So
Francisco
maybe it
papers.
didn't make, maybe
National
the army
news.
just didn't hear.
That's true. That could have happened.
So this is, I mean, I think he's kind of picking up on current events too, right? Because you got to think, when was Harper's Ferry? Like 1859 or 1860, something or in there. So like there's already rebellions going on. There's bleeding Kansas is going on. Civil War is brewing. It's a year away from starting. Probably less than a year away from starting if he decrees this in 1860.
And trust me, he's got takes on the Civil War.
Oh, I'm very excited.
What side is he on?
Well,
Well,
he's on his side.
In 1862, Norton ordered both the Roman Catholic and Protestant churches to publicly ordain him as emperor, and he would resolve this little conflict called the Civil War. He said it would be that
All
easy.
of this while sleeping on the street?
Or, occasionally he could afford a boarding room.
Yeah. If he was lucky.
Kind of bouncing around.
Are they not paying him for his art, for his
The
content?
Audacity. I would love to have that
You know,
audacity.
It's hard to say how he made money these days.
Yeah. He lost all of his real estate. Didn't have anything left.
The bank took it all.
God damn, dude.
See, I feel like if he would have just shut up, if he would have just if you just lay low.
Just you gotta eat shit on the rice.
Also, I think it's a lot easier to do crime in the 1800s.
The
Like, just
easiest.
Do little petty crimes, stack some coins, pay
Yeah.
your bills, and just move around through the West. Just do small robberies, not enough and don't hurt anyone.
Right.
Little I would love. That's what if I could time travel, that's what I would do. I would just go back to the 1800s and do crime.
Oh, I dream about like a train heist.
I want to go into a saloon and I want to
You and the boys
wear
just
a
on
pretty
horses.
dress and just
There's-
steal people's pocket watches.
There's
Yeah,
dynamite
You
on the
took-
train tracks.
You get a man up to a room in the saloon,
Just
tie him
flirt, play cards,
time
and
to
steal.
the bed. Yeah,
Ugh.
yeah.
That's what I want. I stole a towel today
You're-
from the Soho House. I love a little
You have to,
thievery.
just
Just
a
a
little bit.
little.
We have a friend, I forget who it was, but that Kanye West tried to have sex with at the Soho House
Cool.
in Austin.
Oh yeah. I remember when
Any
he was
woman
here.
in the Soho House.
It was someone who we both know. I feel like
It doesn't
I can't
matter.
remember who it was.
Continue.
They were in
Because
the-
you're not going to publicly put their name out there.
Yeah, but it was.
I know who to ask.
She got in an elevator with him when he was at this holed up in the Austin Soho House, and he was just like,
Did he just say, "Can we fuck"?
yeah, he's like, hey, come back to my hotel room and fuck me. Like it was so direct.
Ugh.
It was stunning.
Ugh.
What's your point to that?
Just want to let everyone know.
Rich guys have no game.
Truly,
They don't
It's
need it.
disgusting.
They don't need Riz.
That's why I like to
Kanye
just
West
steal.
is not and has never been attractive enough to just do that.
He was talented enough for 4 years, but that was 14 years ago. So
To the day, almost.
almost.
Yeah.
Mhm. Well, the cowards in both churches ignored his request.
I, by the way,
Shocker.
throw the fact that first off, there is no Protestant church. So he's asking the Catholic Church and then I guess 20 other fucking churches to do it. You stick to the Pope, stick to your guns. We obviously,
Pick a team.
I speak for the podcast when I say we are papists.
We are.
Yeah.
And we chased a Jewish man out.
That's our latest review is two papists chase a Jew away. Which is
But because
We
of
miss
this,
you, Jake.
because they did not ordain him the emperor, Civil War continued.
you can't prove that that's not
That's
why.
the reason.
Yeah. Prove that negative. Prove that negative.
Civil War could have ended had you just done what I said.
Pope
Done the right
crowns him
thing.
emperor. He decrees the Civil War over. Bang. Done.
Yada yada yada.
He also proclaimed himself protector of Mexico when Napoleon III installed Maximilian as his puppet ruler, but later revoked the title, saying it was kind of impossible to
I like
defend
that
such
he
an
revoked his own
unsettled nation.
title. I like that he's like, okay, let's get real. I
Yeah,
don't think
like, I
I don't
can't.
think this is actually me. I am the emperor, but
Yeah.
I can't be the protector of Mexico
No,
anymore.
that's not
so
why. He said it was just an unsettled nation.
I agree. I like that
He was like, they're savages. I don't want anything to do with
Yeah.
them.
I like that he was like, you know what? Yeah, like he's you want a politician who's honest, right? And he said, you know what? I bit off more than I can chew. Mexico. By the way,
America first. America first.
that's one of the reasons that the U.S. didn't take the rest of Mexico when we won that war, is we were like, ugh, it's kind of wacky
It's a
below
nice
the
trick.
Rio
Keep it.
Grande.
Keep
Yeah,
the change.
it's
Keep
kind
it.
of it's kind of
I
That's
think I want
just self-awareness right there. He knows what he can and cannot control.
to. We
you want
love
a
a self-aware king.
you do.
In a proclamation in 1869, he called for the dissolving of both the Republican and Democratic parties.
I'm sorry. So
Maybe we should have listened, guys. Maybe.
We could be all united.
smart. Did he have anything else to say about the Civil War? Did it end? And he was like, I thought so. Thought this would be about the time. That's how I thought it would play out.
Why
He
can't we
just
all
said
get
that he
along?
could have ended
He
it
could have ended it earlier.
much
Good.
earlier.
Could have saved lives.
War. What is it good for?
Now, a command he gave in 1872 finally stuck.
Which
He-
one was it?
he
What
got
was
one?
it?
He got one on the board finally.
Let's hear it.
No longer being able to take the disrespect of his adopted city, he made an imperial order that anyone calling San Francisco just by the words Frisco would face public shaming and a $25 fine to the imperial treasury. Which holds up to this day. If you call San Francisco Frisco, people that live there will berate you.
I actually
They're like, San Fran, fine. SF, fine.
No.
Frisco, fuck you.
no, they hate San Fran too.
Really?
They think they're like, you know, someone's not from San Francisco when they call it.
But
San
they say
Fran.
SF.
They say SF is what they call it. Yeah, they go off the Giants hat. They're like, yeah, we're SF.
SF. They're going to be in the ocean in a couple years, so let's just let them have it.
Yeah, it's all going underwater. There'll just be a new beach and a new cool place.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you could find Norton on the streets pretty easily.
Sounds. I assume he was
Because that's where he lives.
decreeing things. Yeah.
That's where they are. That's where he is.
Well, no, the decrees are in the papers, Rob. No, you could find him pretty easily because he routinely wore a blue naval uniform, a beaver hat with a peacock feather sticking out,
Oh, God.
and either a walking stick or umbrella. Can you get a picture of this man now?
Is he the original Yankee Doodle Dandy? Stuck a feather in his cap?
Do you know the point of that song is they're just calling Americans like dipshit backwoods idiots? They're
I
like,
didn't know that.
yeah,
But I
the-
mean,
but Americans adopted it as like a sort of like they owned the joke and made it a point of pride. But
it's
British,
like N-word. Like if you remove the hard R, it's like now it's our word.
yes, is our word. Yeah, Yankee Doodle Dandy was about how we were all just like backwoods morons who were like, oh, he sticks a feather in his cap and he thinks he's all fancy because he's a dumb fuck. That's what it is.
Huh. I didn't know that.
He became a bit of a local celebrity.
It took this long.
Oh my God, he
No,
sounds like
I'm
a
just kind of saying in general.
By the way,
like
I was
Leslie. He's
Leslie, yeah.
Leslie.
I'm bouncing back and forth right now.
okay.
Yeah, throughout the entire time, people love him.
People are like,
He's
"Hey."
Leslie.
Didn't
or the
Leslie
guy
get
with
like
the
a-
Leslie's dead.
I don't
Yeah,
know who
yeah.
that is, but
Leslie was the famous
with the
Hob-
tutu.
Austin Hobo. I don't
yeah,
want to
maybe say that on the podcast that other people who don't live in the city.
I'm about to
Yeah.
explain.
That's what I'm
him.
saying. Yeah.
So he was a famous Austin hobo who wasn't like trans, but he wore like ladies' clothes a lot, walked around in like a thong a lot,
I'm like a tutu.
ran for mayor, and
Mhm.
got a not insignificant amount of votes for mayor. Like, I'll actually look up how many votes Leslie got.
I don't
Or
care.
the chicken guy, the guy with the chicken downtown.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I
Or
remember. I've
the
met
lady-
that guy.
Every
Or
town,
the
every
lady that
city
walks
has a
around with
guy
her
like
pussy
this.
Out. That old lady, have you seen her with her vagina out?
I have not. What?
There's a lady who walks around either wearing a granny panty and nothing else, or like shirt and pussy out, like Woody the Poohing
Right.
downtown.
Every town, every city has a weirdo like this where they do nothing malicious. They're not doing anything.
lovable-
Leslie
Hobo.
Cochran is the name.
No criminal activities.
He got almost 8% of the vote for mayor.
That's impressive.
He's a
RFK,
hobo.
RFK will be lucky if he gets
Yes,
that.
like literally, a hobo got 8% of the vote for mayor.
Well, we're talking about a hobo that was emperor.
True, which is obviously more impressive, but just saying. There's a long, rich history of hobos in political office.
You also have to know your hobo. Like you have to know who's in your neighborhood. Know their name, know what their dealings are, what they're up to.
The good hobo, because
Stay on
he'll
their,
tell
stay
you.
on their good side.
He'll tell you, or
Make
she'll
sure
tell
they're
you.
not a total liability.
Yeah.
Well, and then they kind of, shepherd you. Like they
look
let
out
the
for
other
you.
hobos know that like, no, she's cool.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
Let her
police the
pass.
the homeless.
They're like, no. I'm like, thank you so much, Frederick. I'm good.
Is Frederick yours?
It was one of mine. I haven't
Okay.
seen him in a long time.
It's
I
like,
hope he's
please
okay.
don't
Sure, he's fine.
wipe the windshield. He
I
doesn't want it.
although one time I parked downtown under the bridge and I had a lot of bird shit on my car, and he offered to clean off the bird shit.
I
if
know you
gave
said
him
it
a
the last
couple
time we were on
bucks.
this
Oh, sorry.
podcast.
Well.
Repeating stories already. You
Wow.
appear
Too many times.
too many times on this show.
Yeah, that's our job to
Yikes.
repeat stories. Mine in
Yikes.
particular.
People would address Joshua and bow to him formally while walking by.
Other hobos?
No,
people.
Other people much
Real
wealthier
people.
than him.
Bow?
Oh, that was the emperor.
Ooh. It's like he's not wearing shoes. You're bowing to a guy without
Yeah.
Yeah,
shoes.
so like it's you bowing to your homeless guy.
Wouldn't do it.
Oh, it's Emperor Joshua.
Public transit gave him free rides.
Oh, that's nice.
Well, it's his. He owns the public.
Mm-hmm. And stores around the city began selling Norton dolls for kids to play with.
What?
What did it look like? Did it have the feather and the whole?
Mhm.
Oh my,
It's just it had his likeness.
cute.
Norton even began printing his own currency,
Of course.
and some local businesses and residents did in fact take it, knowing it was not real money.
What?
Aw. That's endearing.
How
What are you
did?
asking for?
Anyway, I got the doll
You
here.
got
I
the
believe it.
doll?
Yeah.
Wait, actually, that looks really cool.
It's like
I
a
would
little
take one.
nutcracker, yeah.
Yeah.
That looks really kind of like avant-garde and fun.
Mm-hmm.
We need to get one for the set if we can.
That's good.
It's very bizarre to me that children were
all,
into it.
but I think all dolls were like there was not a cute-looking doll during this
No,
time. Like
no,
they're
it's-
all like that's no more or less horrifying than any other doll that's available.
It's more just like, I guess we almost have a rich tradition of hobo dolls in this country. Like, the Cabbage Patch Kids were kind of homeless, weren't they?
Yeah. That was like kind of part of the backstory.
Yeah.
I think we revere hobos, like the whole like train hopper
Boxcar
culture,
children.
the boxcar kids.
Little stick with a bandana.
We very much love like a bootstrapping hobo.
Yeah. Well, except they don't pull themselves up by the bootstrap. They're just like,
Busking.
they're living free.
I think that was just
Dying hard.
depression propaganda.
It's not so bad.
It's not so bad, and
They're having
also
a
this is
wonderful
a lot of the
Okies?
population. Like, hey, this was your neighbor now.
Yeah.
They're like, he's having a better time than you'll ever have.
Yeah.
He's free now.
They don't show you.
He has less debt than I.
They don't show you them like wrestling over a piece of bread in a train car.
Yeah. But
Or
there's
somebody
like,
getting shanked.
the
with a
hobo
broken
goes
bottle.
from place to place with not a worry in the world while you're tethered to your job and your family.
The world is his oyster.
He shucks where he pleases.
Now, this currency had no value, obviously,
Most of it doesn't.
until now. Norton bucks are still floating around
No.
in the collectible space and are going for about 5 figs.
What?
Okay. Also,
we need if a listener out there
Google.
wants to get us a Norton buck,
it has as much value as you say it has.
so it's worth about
So if
$10,000.
people were accepting it, then
Norton bucks are like better than Ethereum right now.
yeah, then it had value.
Whoa.
Like
The
Norton
Imperial
bucks?
Government of Norton. Oh, I can't read the rest. It's like in that script.
Oh,
hard
that's
to
what I
read.
meant to ask. How
It
is
says
he paying to have
$5.
this printed?
That's the thing. Businesses just did things for
They were
him.
just like, it's funny.
They
It's like
like
a good
him.
it's like a good advertisement.
He's just a cool dude, I guess.
Yeah.
This
Apparently.
is so cute. I am into it. The more I hear, I like his gumption.
Mm-hmm.
He's got
His
moxie,
his
baby.
boldness, yeah.
Now, some of his royal decrees also had foresight of what would eventually happen. So we should credit him for some of these
All
accomplishments.
He
Right.
came up with crypto.
Kind of.
No,
He invented the blockchain.
in the 1860s, he was calling for the League of Nations.
Okay, sure.
And he also said that they should build a bridge between San Francisco and Oakland.
Look at him. I feel like these aren't creative ideas, really.
But he's on that block. He's the first one on
That's
those
like
He
blocks.
suggested a fast rail that connects Austin, San Antonio, Houston,
Yeah.
and Dallas.
That sounds like if you hear like a hobo, if you like walk around downtown Austin and some hobo's like, we need to build a city on the moon, and then like in 200 years there's a city on the moon. They're like, well, that hobo
You
said
should
we
credit that
He
man.
actually has a point. He actually knows what he's talking about.
He should at least get a building on the
Get it?
moon.
Okay, all right, a street, just random hobo way.
Norton spent most of his day inspecting the streets, wandering the parks and
Inspecting?
libraries,
Inspecting.
Looking for cigarette butts.
Yeah,
And
that's a street,
coins?
all right.
collecting just cans. No. He was wandering parks, libraries. He'd make friends with stray dogs.
As one does.
And he would go to musical and theatrical performances that would let him in.
Yeah, the emperor. He's an emperor.
He's cultured.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to show face. He's got to, hold court.
Would he get a good seat?
Sometimes.
One
I
would
mean,
hope.
I think any seat is a good seat if you don't have a home.
But he's an emperor without a home.
He gets a box.
Much like Napoleon
Him and the
on
stray
Elba.
dogs.
Yeah.
He's a man without
He's
a
just
country.
chain smoking cigarette butts.
Oh, it's the life.
Just imagine him with 2 stray dogs just walking into a performance of like the Nutcracker.
He
Late.
should have built an
I
army
feel like
of
he's
stray
late.
dogs.
He probably shows up late.
Yeah, he just comes in when he wants.
Comes in what he wants. It's like, oh, it's easier if, we don't say anything. Let's actually give him $5. It's
Yeah.
called hush money.
Let's just
Let's
let him.
hope
Don't
he's quiet.
don't bother.
Don't
him.
interrupt the performance.
I feel like there's a lot of restaurants like that where it's like, yeah, he comes, he sits on the porch, he drinks water,
We give
he
him
doesn't
water.
bother
He sits in
anyone.
the shade.
Just let it be. We've tried
He
to
takes
throw
the
him out
trash
once.
out.
Yeah.
He scoops the roadkill from the street.
I remember there was one time there was like a hobo going through a dumpster in college at the fraternity house, and I was a dumb freshman, and I was just like to the president, I was like, "Should we do something?" And he was like, "Do what? It's fucking trash. Just let him take it."
Yeah.
He's gonna go take it and recycle it
Somebody did that to me this week. My trash, like on the
for the
street.
cans.
The cans. I felt pretty bad.
How many cans do you have?
I drink a lot of sparkling water.
Okay, I mean for us it makes sense
I drink a lot of sparkling water.
on a Monday
I'm
morning.
crushing like 3 to 4 sparklies a day.
Okay, what like LaCroix?
Yeah.
Liquid Death. Buy Liquid Death. They're not a sponsor anymore, but buy Liquid
Maybe
Death.
they will someday.
I
Yeah.
buy the Randall's brand because it's the cheapest.
Oh boy, you doing okay?
I just crush a lot of sparkling water.
Okay, just living that emperor life.
Yeah.
Wasn't all sunshine and rainbows in San Francisco for Norton, however.
Oh no.
There's
There's
a
a
dark side to being
Oh,
a homeless
boy.
man.
Well, it is San Francisco.
I like, by the way, that the Emperor of San Francisco then,
Emperor
as
of
probably like
America.
now, is
Emperor
a-
of America.
America.
America,
Give him
yes,
credit.
but
Throw some respect.
No, in 1867, Norton was arrested by a local police officer,
What do you do?
which was more of a private security guard at the time,
a rent-a-cop.
Armand Barbier,
Of course, he's
Oh,
foreign.
Does he have a foe?
He sounds foreign.
for mental insanity, with the intention
Yeah,
to
but we
commit him
don't
to a
talk
psych
about
ward.
it.
That's subjective.
That's mean. He's our lunatic. He's not a lunatic.
I feel like the city probably rose up and were
It
like,
did.
give him back.
They did. The city was outraged.
Aw.
Citizens went to the station in droves to complain. Newspapers wrote scathing editorials about the department. And by the end of the week, Police Chief Patrick Crowley ordered Norton to be released and issued a public apology on behalf of the force.
God.
Was it in the paper? I want a binder. I want like a book of everything he ever wrote, and it ends and like with that in it too.
Oh man, I wonder if those are on newspaper.com.
They've got to be.
His editorials.
Just go through San Francisco papers in the 1860s and 70s.
Can
Yeah,
somebody,
yeah.
Can somebody do that?
yeah, you can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Newspapers.com, baby.
It's kind of expensive.
I'm getting
No,
pretty
when
pricey.
when I say somebody, I want. Can somebody else like
yes.
compile
Do it for
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
Do the work for us.
and then show the link. Send the link.
We'll share it.
Mm-hmm. After this, Norton then issued an imperial pardon to Officer Barbier.
Well,
That's
that's
so
kind of him. He's a
nice.
good ruler.
He's the bigger person.
Yes.
Yep.
Officer
and from then on
Barbier.
out, he was saluted every time he passed an officer on the streets.
Wow.
Damn, that's funny.
I take back what I said about the police. They're not so bad after all.
In 1870, U.S. Census, like I said earlier, actually had Norton officially listed with the profession Emperor. Norton also wrote many letters to Queen Victoria of England.
His peer, his contemporary.
He loved her.
Yeah.
Is he a chubby chaser? She's a big woman.
Well, he was offering marriage after the death of her husband, Prince Albert,
Ugh.
to
Coulda-
strengthen the ties between our two nations.
Oh my
Reunite
God.
them, even. You know what I mean? A super empire. England and the United States
That would have really been cool.
rejoined.
The Queen never responded and died a lonely widow.
Yeah, that's. You need to be. First off, the
she
Queen
could have lived longer.
needs the self-awareness to know, like, yeah, it's your second go around. You're not going to get what you want necessarily.
That's like Travis Kelce, how he was like outwardly talking about how much he likes Taylor Swift,
yeah.
and he gave her his number
the
in the
bracelet.
friendship bracelet. And then they ended up together. Like he manifested it. Like she wasn't reading the DMs, but then she looked, she considered it, she entertained the idea, And it was like, actually, this might be good for America. And you know what? It is. The NFL is reaping the financial benefits.
Mhm.
of
Can't go
Taylor
in if you
Swift.
don't shoot.
Yeah.
Shoot or shoot.
Norton did, however, have much correspondence with the King of Hawaii.
Wait. What? King? Oh, this is pre.
It was
Yeah.
before it's a state.
Yeah.
King of Hawaii? I didn't
Before we
even know
got there, there was a
king in
full
Hawaii.
on king. Yeah.
Kamehameha the Fifth. I can't say his name.
It's not an easy language.
It's not.
Sounded pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
I feel like it was pretty close.
I said it really slow. I'm sure you say
You
it
sounded it out.
very fast. But the King of Hawaii ultimately refused to recognize anyone but Norton as
Hell
the
yeah.
sole leader of the United
I
States.
think that may be why we invaded. Dole Banana took that as a
Oh, man. Do you think
As a
Hawaii
slight-
hates
yeah.
him? Do you think Hawaii blames Norton?
maybe.
No.
If
I
not
think,
for the emperor?
I think they recognized Norton as the rightful leader, and
That's the problem, though. The fruit
people went
companies-
around him.
The fruit companies show up, and they're like, by decree of America's emperor, Josh Norton,
Josh.
you are not allowed here. And they were like, yeah, I don't. Okay,
What?
well, we're going to kill all you now.
Like, give us your pineapples.
Yeah.
Fuck off. Pay $9 a gallon for gas.
I remember when
It's
I
a
was
beautiful state.
when I was in Hawaii
Sure,
for my
it's gotta be.
honeymoon,
To make
we
it
were
It's
worth-
like
to make it worth it.
It's like perfect.
we were on some rum safari. It was really cool. We were in Kauai. We were at a rum plantation, and we were doing like a whole like little thing through the jungle, drinking different rum drinks and all this shit. And you know, you could tell this guy's answered this question a million times, but he's a local, like running the rum tour. And people were like, so what's it like to live here? You know, like, I mean, you know,
Expensive?
it's got to be crazy. And he's like, yeah, you know, milk is $6 a gallon or whatever it is. And he's like, so that's crazy. But, you know, I get fresh ahi tuna right off the coast for like, you know, way less than it costs in, you know, the mainland. And I was like, I don't think that's a good trade-off. I don't think that the tuna, you just can't possibly eat enough tuna to make up for milk and gas.
Milk and gas. And
The-
everything else.
The amount of tuna. And by the way, you can't take boats really between islands. You have to fly.
really?
At this point, yeah, because they were just murking too many humpback whales, right?
Funniest picture.
The ferries were just murking whales,
yeah.
Like, oh no.
just like speed bumps.
Like
Just
it,
like
like
shaving off the top of
the
their
way
whole
we
body.
hit a deer with a car.
Yeah. She's like, oh, there goes another
Yeah.
street rat,
Yeah.
another giant rat,
Like,
but
ah,
it's
there
a
goes another
humpback
water
whale.
rat.
I love whales.
But yeah, I was like, well, good for you and your tuna.
the
But
one
that-
animal that got on land and was like, nah,
fuck
Whales?
this.
back to the ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, all great rains, unfortunately, have to come to an end.
It's true.
Oh no. Did he
Jan-
ever have a woman? Did he ever have a wife or a lady lover or man?
Yeah, Queen Victoria.
Oh, an unrequited love,
Yes.
He was chasing.
but not like a partner. He
I
didn't have a.
assume.
He didn't have a. You know.
You
someone
don't
to
think
rub
he
his
used his
feet.
local celebrity to maybe
For
cash
I
in?
definitely think before he was like hyper homeless, he was waving newspaper columns in people's faces. But I assume he had
Just
bitches.
in bars talking a big game.
Yeah, he had bitches.
I bet he was a charmer. Like I bet if you
Oh,
like
yeah.
if he had just gotten a shower that day and if he's in the bar, sitting on the
Oh,
bed,
he could take her to a show.
take her to a show.
I
And
get
then-
in free.
Oh, and
And-
then when you're
Oh,
on the
hey,
man,
look, we can get on the trolley for free.
Yeah, when you're on the arm of a man who just like knows everyone and everyone knows him, it is impressive.
They pull up a
They
table.
you don't know why they know him. You just know that like, oh, everyone knows his name. He must be really rich and important. Turns out he wants to come back to your
He
place.
gives the
'cause
restaurant,
He doesn't have one.
he gives the establishment his own currency, and they take it.
They take it
I
with a
mean,
smile.
My God.
What more could you want from them?
I hope he had a couple. You know,
I bet he did.
I
I
want,
could
certainly
almost
did.
I want that
guarantee
happiness
he
for
did.
him because he's giving me a lot of joy right now.
See, you swung back. You hated this man at first.
No, I did, but I'm on board. I'm fully on board.
So January 8th, 1880, Norton collapses on the street across from Old St. Mary Cathedral.
My God.
Norton died before a carriage could arrive to treat him,
A carriage.
and the following morning, the San Francisco Morning Call printed his obituary that
Front
read,
page.
"On the reeking pavement, in the darkness of a moonless night, until the dripping rain, Norton the First, by grace of God, Emperor of the United States, and Protector of Mexico, departed this
He
life."
renounced that title.
Yeah, he didn't keep it.
Get a fact checker, San Francisco Chronicle Observer page. Whatever the fuck this fucking editorial rag is called. What a beautiful obituary, though.
The San Francisco Chronicle led its article on his funeral with, "The king is dead."
Oh my God. And everyone's like, Queen Victoria's still alive.
She owns America now. It's hers.
It's hers, yeah, because
She got it in. She got it in
In
his will.
yeah.
Norton died in complete poverty.
Disagree.
$5 in small change was found on him.
Five Norton dollars or 5 regular?
Yeah, that's a good question.
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
He splits them in half. He takes them together.
In one of the small boarding rooms that he would occasionally rent, it was discovered he had a collection of walking sticks, a battered saber, a variety of hats, a handful of Norton bonds, and
I like that
He had a bond.
he
There's
issued-
a bond market
he
for
issued- He issued Norton cash and Norton bonds.
Yeah.
I like him. He's entrepreneurial.
fake telegrams from the Tsar of Russia
Fake
congratulating him on the marriage to Queen Victoria.
Oh, he was manifesting hard.
They also found 98 shares in a defunct gold mine.
That's the most real thing
Yeah.
he ever owned.
But I would say he didn't die destitute or in complete poverty.
A man's true wealth is his friends.
Well, you die twice. The first time is when your heart stops, and the second time is when no one says your name.
And we're continuing to say his name right
He's
now.
alive right now.
He's
Yeah.
And in
alive. He's
fact-
alive and well.
Citizens paid for his funeral, and over 10,000 people showed up to say their goodbyes.
I feel like
What
the
a
Pope
party.
has less people show up to his funeral.
I don't think that's accurate.
I think it rivals the Pope.
I will check. And I'll do the least popular pope, which is Pope Benedict.
Yeah.
You got to do it by population, though, right? So how many people were in San Francisco at this time?
Okay, if we're doing rate stats,
No,
10,000
not
is pretty
rates.
good.
Let's just look at numbers.
yeah, all right.
But anyway, 10,000 people showed up, said their
That's
goodbye.
a lot.
And he's still an iconic figure to this day in the city of San Francisco.
Does he have a statue?
Is that what Norton Software is named after?
No.
no antivirus?
Yeah.
They're like, it's all a scam. We're making this up. That's why they called it Norton. They just idolize him.
50,000 people were at Pope Benedict's funeral.
Okay, but if we did do ratios, if we did ratios, it would.
Well, there are 2 billion Catholics.
So he kills it in the ratios.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, San Francisco only had in the 1880s 233,000 people.
Okay, he's doing better.
5% of San Francisco showed up.
To
Whereas,
a
you
hobo's fucking funeral.
No, that's probably
Yeah.
not right. That math is definitely not right.
I wasn't going to question it.
It feels wrong.
We don't do math here.
Yeah, I wasn't. This isn't softcore math.
And that, my friends, is the story of Emperor Norton.
Okay.
Long may he reign.
But yeah, no,
1818 to when did he die? 18.
80. It was a good life.
It's a good long time back then.
62. Not bad. For a hobo?
Not bad for a hobo.
For a
Not bad for a guy
19th
that spent
century
40 years
hobo?
on the
Yeah.
streets.
And he 20 years on the streets for sure. 20-year reign. It was a great reign, mostly peaceful reign.
Mostly peaceful.
A small war. That wasn't his fault.
He
every
would have
good
ended
ruler,
it.
Also, every good ruler gets imprisoned against their will.
It's true.
And he was like the Mandela
Yes, I'm saying.
He is.
of San Francisco. They were going to the streets for him,
They wanted him out.
and they got him out.
The Norton effect. You just the Norton effect is you just manifest and just kind of scam your way into rooms you don't belong in.
I also, another thing that's very modern and American about this man is that he was super famous, but never made a dime off it. The amount of, for every,
Every TikTok star.
that is every TikTok star, right? Like, for every whatever, obviously Tom Hanks is an old actor, but even, Sydney Sweeney just bought a $14 million house, right? For every, super rich celebrity you know about, there's 100 other people that are hella famous that have nothing.
Yeah.
You think they have a lot. They maybe even get
All the
dressed up for
actors
the
all the Hollywood actors that live in Austin.
Yeah. I mean, what's Chewbacca mom up to?
Yeah, right.
Bet she has $0 to her name.
Guaranteed.
Mm-hmm. What'd you guys learn today?
I learned
To withhold my judgment until I hear the whole story.
It's a good lesson
Good
that
lesson.
I think we should all kind of take from this story.
that I don't know. I just learned that America has a true ruler, and we need to find it. he had to have sired a bastard at some point, and we need to
I
find the
hope
Norton
so.
line and get them back in power.
See if they continued.
Yeah.
Give him back, put him back on the throne.
Yes.
Also, I learned that in 2030, I'm gonna come up with the best possible job title for myself and put that on the census. Self-reported.
Yes.
Who's Hitler?
Today's Hitler's Queen Victoria.
And the cop that arrested him for
Yeah, but he pardoned him.
No, that
No,
cop
he
didn't. I
didn't-
bet you
No,
that
no,
cop.
the
I'm saying-
captain pardoned
no,
him.
I'm saying
Oh.
Norton pardoned the
Yeah,
cop.
well,
fair.
So he's the bigger man.
I did
and
not. I'm not pardoning him. I hold a
he's
grudge.
asking you
Norton's
as
a bigger guy.
one of his,
Followers,
followers. and
Citizens,
believers.
subjects.
He wants you to forgive this cop.
That's fair.
It's very,
If that's what Norton wants.
if that's what he wants.
But Queen Victoria, I won't forgive.
No.
Never got back to him. Why'd you leave that man on red?
Absolutely ghosted. Pathetic.
That's why he died alone.
That's she died
So
alone.
she died alone.
Yeah.
Fat and alone.
Yeah.
She was.
Her circumference was the same as her height, more or less.
She was a virgin who couldn't drive.
Virgin who could.
He was willing to take one for the team, for the
I love that he
betterment of
loved
these
her so
nations.
much from a distance.
Yeah. He just saw like one
She
picture.
was not a pretty woman. But
I love that
No.
he just was
saw-
homies with the king of Hawaii.
I do like that the King of Hawaii made a really not advisable alliance.
Kind of unfortunate he never
I
made
feel like
it out.
probably there's a lot of unadvisable
He couldn't
choices made.
he
in
couldn't sail
Hawaii's
him out?
history.
for a visit.
Yeah. I just think, look, I don't want to sound racist or anything here, but I have to imagine
No, God forbid.
that the King of Hawaii didn't know what a P.O. box was, and it's just a red flag if the leader of a country you're mailing, you have to send it to a P.O. box.
Honestly, it's a red flag if the address ends in anything other than a 0. Like if it's not like a perfect address,
Oh, okay.
you know, like 1600,
yeah.
you know, like 10.
You need a whole block.
You need a whole block. Like it needs to be like a perfect round number,
Yes.
clean number.
Yeah. If it ends, if it's like,
Or it's fine if it's a double digit number. If it's like 98,
oh, what is
like 12.
what is the where does the UK Prime Minister live? It's somewhere
Downing Street.
It's like
10?
10 Downing Street, 9 Downing Street, something
I
like
think
that.
it's 10.
You're probably right.
Yeah, why would it be 9?
I don't fucking know.
10's just like a good number.
It's always a good.
It is 10 Downing Street.
It's always
yes.
a good 0 number. It's
Yeah,
always a number
that's
that
right,
ends in
you're right.
0. That's wealth.
That yes.
Mm. Or a 2-number address. A 2-number address is wealth.
10.
10.
Well, that's our show for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for tuning in. Like we said off the top of the show, we got a Patreon, patreon.com/softcore history. You get 2 additional episodes every week, Wednesday and Friday. And then softcorehistory.com, we got merch that you can buy. I'm going to try to get some new designs up there in the next month, so stay tuned. And then YouTube, Softcore History on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe.
Just
Leave it on
search
for
it.
the dogs.
Just search it. Yeah, leave it
I'll
on
leave
for
it
the
on
dogs.
for my dog.
Do you really?
I do, and I'm a
Oh.
patron.
Get those views up.
Look at
You knew I'm a patron.
I
though.
did know that. Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. We appreciate.
Are
you
we
for
not
I've
just
got-
supplying the people with endless content?
The whole
Infinite content.
the whole back catalog is literally evergreen.
Infinite.
So-
Like
content.
95% evergreen.
I'm a patron,
Yeah, yeah.
and I'm in the Discord, and I saw that not many people liked my little chit chat a couple weeks ago. So sorry about that.
Wait, what?
No, they just didn't
They
like
were-
hearing her from
I
the,
like had to mute the Discord notifications. I was like, this is hurting my feelings.
Oh, the producer.
No,
Oh,
the-
yeah.
when
yeah.
she
I
was
just like,
not
'cause
on
I was like,
camera.
oh, the Patreon. I was like, it's a lot more relaxed. No, it's not.
They're
No, it's
paying.
not.
Yeah.
It should be less relaxed.
No, they were just caught off guard because you were talking
They
off.
were caught off guard.
Camera.
Like, what? Yeah.
Like, was that the voice of God?
Okay. It's okay.
But yeah,
I didn't read it. I saw that it wasn't nice, and I didn't read it.
we have game shows. We have.
Lots
I
of
did an
stuff.
episode last week in the defense of Benedict Arnold.
He did, and I agreed with Benedict, kind of.
Shocker.
I'm a bootlicker. Yeah,
You
all the
are
way.
a bootlicker.
Make sure to leave a review on Apple. Write it out. 5 stars, please, and thank you. And then Spotify, just 5 stars if you can. You don't have to write anything.
Yep.
That'd be greatly
But the
appreciated.
reviews help us go up the charts.
And honestly, the best way to grow the podcast is to just
Just tell your friends.
tell your friends. Word of mouth.
Be like, yo, check this
Send
out.
them
to
your
grow.
favorite episode. Send the link to an episode. Don't just say, listen to this podcast.
Yes.
Send, hey,
Send the
I
episode
think,
that got you.
I think you'd like this episode.
Mm-hmm.
That is the way to do it, certainly. Because, we're not always on every week.
Gabby, where can the people find you?
Follow me on Instagram at GabMonty. And And
If you're in Austin, come to her stand-up shows.
yeah,
You'll see.
whenever.
Yeah, you'll see it on the Instagram.
You'll see it.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for
Thanks, guys.
joining us this week. For Gabby and Rob, I'm Dan Regester, and you just got soft served.